I think there's a wide range of challenges in this job, emotionally speaking. When we go out to people's homes, sometimes they have things like dementia, Alzheimer's, or maybe they're hallucinating. Other things that can be somewhat upsetting is very sensitive cases, typically are abuse cases, where people have significant injuries or sexual abuse cases. Just hearing the details, that can be pretty jarring for an investigator.
I applied for Adult Protective Services after I researched to see what it entailed. I like to help and I like to investigate. So I like to take pieces of the puzzle and put it together and solve a problem. So I've been here for a little over 3 years. It's very rewarding, but it can be traumatic and sad to see what people do to other people.
As an agency as a whole, what we do is we investigate the allegations of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. The staff, they go out and they do the initial assessment. They go out, they assess the client, they assess the situation. The first thing we're looking at is if they meet the criteria of being a vulnerable adult. Vulnerable adults could be anyone with a physical impairment and also if they have any type of cognitive deficits as well. Our ultimate goal is to make sure that the client is safe, and we want to mitigate whatever the allegation is.
APS really has two sides to it. One is the investigative role, where we request records such as medical, financial, law enforcement records to help us determine whether we can substantiate a case or not. But the other side of our role is really that we are referring to community resources. We are looking at, do these adults need some kind of protective services? Are their basic needs being met? And we are there as the middle person to try to ensure that their needs get met.
We actually communicate and we collaborate with our stakeholders and community. If we have clients that need hospice, we reach out to those type of agencies. If we have clients that need attended care, then we make those referrals. We work closely with the law enforcement. And so if we go out to a home and we see that there's any type of abuse, neglect, or exploitation, we collaborate with them on cases as well.
I have a background in law enforcement prior to this, and then prior to that I spent years on the fire department. So I wanted to continue to be part of the community, and having that law enforcement background and becoming an investigator really helped me excel, I think, within APS. There is some myths what APS can and can't do. APS cannot remove anybody from their home. Obviously adults have rights until it's proven different in a court of law. And people think that we have shelters or homes that we can just go take somebody to. That's not the case. Our vulnerable adults have a choice to live the way they want to, unless, want to accept services from us.
I've recently had a client that lived in a hoarder condition. It was probably one of the most extreme ones that I've gone to. The last time I went to visit him, he was delusional, hallucinations, so he wasn't quite in his mental state of mind anymore. So at that time I had to contact law enforcement, medical personnel, and the fire marshal. The inside of his house was probably stacked 4 foot high from the front door all the way through the whole home. They weren't even sure how they were going to get him out of the house, and they seriously had talked about knocking his wall down. He was taken to the hospital to at least be checked out and stabilized, and then he was put into a nursing facility where he could get the care he needed. Usually on your initial visit, you can tell what the situation is and what it might turn into. And after your 30-day visit, you can, if you've put services in place, usually things are either better. And if they don't take services, when you go back in 30 days, you can find out, sometimes they'll agree to take things, they'll give in. Things have deteriorated.
When I was an investigator working out in the field, it wasn't unusual for me to come up to a property where there was aggressive animals. Sometimes it's homes with pest issues like bed bugs, lice, cockroaches, mice. We also face instances where We have really angry family members that are upset that we're there. Sometimes there are illegal drugs or paraphernalia in the homes. At times we've had incidents where people are manufacturing drugs in the home. Sometimes we have gowned up, we've put gloves on, we've put these covers on our shoes so not to track anything back into the vehicle with us. Generally, we're pretty mindful if we know something ahead of time, where we actually won't enter the homes sometimes, and we'll have the clients come out and meet us outside.
I think you need to be strong-minded. I like to see investigators when they go out. I want them to interact with our clients, build that rapport. So I think you need to be outgoing and able to speak with people. You have to have a strong stomach. They have a pretty busy schedule. It's not just sitting in office. Their expectations, there's a lot of drive time.
The area that I cover is almost all of Mojave County, excluding Lake Havasu City. Just to give an idea, we cover all the way to the Nevada state line, California state line, Colorado line.
It's a good thing for somebody who likes to multitask and likes to be out and about and doing different things every day. I like to be on the go. I like new things. I like the challenge.
I feel that oftentimes that as a society, we look at adults and we say, hey, well, they're grown, they can do everything on their own, they can make their own decisions, and that's not always the case. So for me, that's why it has become my passion, and I just want to make sure that everyone lives the life that they're meant to live.
Sometimes they can't speak for themselves. Sometimes they need somebody to speak for them, and so I consider myself an advocate. I love to advocate for them.
As an investigator, you will receive training. You will be placed with an experienced investigator. You're actually able to go out into the field. You get case studies where you actually get to work through the case so that you're comfortable and you feel like you know what you're doing once you get out of training.
APS too is they have great benefits. The insurance benefits are great, and we accrue time off every month for annual and sick leave. And the other benefit is we have state cars, so you're not using your personal vehicle.
My work partners, they're like my family. I spend more time with them. If I ever have questions, I'm stuck trying to solve a problem, they're always the best problem solvers that I've had.
It's a career, it's not a job. You really have to have the compassion and want to do this. You want to be involved with our communities and our vulnerable adults. So I think the biggest is compassion. Having that compassion and wanting to make a difference.